Hey there. I'm Ken, Chief Growth Officer at Pace Generative, and this is everything you need to know about GEO. So, if you haven't been living under a rock, you've probably heard of the term GEO. It stands for Generative Engine Optimization. And I understand, before you start telling me or thinking that this is just another buzzy acronym, here's why you should actually care. So B2B decision makers are already turning to generative AI tools like ChatGPT in their buying decision making process. As much as 89% of them, according to Forrester. So yeah, this isn't really a passing trend. It's already here. But the difference between GEO and SEO is pretty simple. SEO is built around how search engines crawl your site, include it in their index, and then decide where to include it, your content, in the search results. Whereas GEO is built around how these large language models remember, then recall, and return your content as the best answer to the user's prompt. And that key difference changes everything because there are no published ranking factors in Google like Google's documentation. There's no 10 blue links for your content, and there's no page two. They don't crawl and understand your content like Google does. And your potential customers, and this is the most important thing, have completely different behavior and expectations as what they do in organic search. So what should you do about this? Well, the truth is that currently, having a strong brand presence and proper SEO foundations is going to go a long way in GEO. But what's critical for you to understand is that you can't rely on the old traditional way of doing things in these new generative AI environments. You have to change your approach and change your fundamental strategy. So, how do you accomplish this? Well, first is tracking. How do you know you're doing a good job or not? Start out by filtering in generative AI tool referrals into Google Analytics 4, and you can track conversions when people come from those tools. The second is by using brand visibility monitoring tools like Profound or Scrunch that help you know when your brand name is showing up for certain topics and searches. Then make sure to work with a developer to make sure that the crawlers, just like Googlebot, can actually crawl and make sense of your site because they just don't function as efficiently. Next, you're going to want to include insights and proprietary data that no one else has in your content because LLMs favor unique information. And on that note, you're going to want to focus on bottom of funnel oriented and branded content. So things like competitor comparisons and how you stack up, case studies, solutions pages, and reports that showcase what's unique about you to include when they're giving that answer to the user. Then we're going to want to engage in honestly traditional PR style activities that not only build backlinks, again, that's sort of traditional thinking, but most importantly, get people talking about your brand because folks like Kevin Endig have already shown us that brand mentions across the web, the frequency of them, where they're cited, is one of the most highly correlated factors to showing up inside of these tools. The next is we're going to want to go off the site. So generative AI tools have to pull this information from places. And so YouTube, Reddit, Wikipedia, Stack Overflow, LinkedIn polls are all places where you want to show up. Next, we're going to improve our messaging and user experience and yes, conversion rate optimization because AI overviews and generative AI tools are starting to eat clicks that would go to your site. So you need to be present in those places. And then when people come to your site, you can resonate with them and convert them better, even if your overall visibility or in Google search is going down. And then within the content, we're going to want to use topically relevant subheadings, FAQs, content summaries, and most importantly, don't bury the lead. Keep the most important part of the content right at the top because these crawlers don't necessarily go as deep as Googlebot. This isn't the same as just another Google algorithm update. It's a societal shift. Every single one of us is changing how we discover, learn, and use information, and your buyers are no different. So you don't need to go and tear everything out and change everything overnight. But I promise you, if you bury your head in the sand now, you'll regret it next year. So if you've got any questions at all or want a second pair of eyes on your GEO strategy, hit me up or get in touch below. Happy optimizing. Cheers.